Hello, this is Jelelle Awen, and it's day 27 of 33 in my series called Deepen. And we are definitely deepening. As we're getting toward the end of the series here, I'm feeling out each day what would be the next place that would serve us to go together. And today I actually had something else planned, but I had a beautiful session with the facilitant this morning, and feeling into this area with her of exploration, it felt so important and critical and just a tender ground to go into. So I felt guided to focus this day on the Yoni, which is female sexuality and the healing of it. So for men watching this video, I invite you to take it in from your perspective of being a divine partner, being a mate. Maybe you feel something about your history with women, how you've been with women, hopefully not in a self-punishing way, but just in a reconciling way, thinking about it differently, feeling it differently, and also feeling maybe what kind of partner you'd like to be in the future. And for women, this is really an invitation to start to connect with an energy that often I feel gets suppressed or bypassed or can actually be over-energized. When I say Yoni, I'm not just referring to female genitalia. I'm also referring to the whole area of seems to include the first chakra, the root, and going all the way into the second chakra, sacral area, and even into the third chakra and the solar plexus area. So it's really kind of this big vortex down here, which you can't see off camera, but sometimes referred to as also the womb space. And the Yoni really is a portal. So we will treat her as such, a portal to multi-dimensional access to other timelines, to the collective, to unity consciousness, to the Divine Mother and the Divine Father. So there's a very sacred purpose that the Yoni serves. And of course, in other timelines, in priestess timelines especially, there was a recognition of this capacity of the Yoni, yet it was often misused or distorted. And the needs of the woman, of the human woman, were often bypassed. And so the human woman didn't get to express as a healthy human woman in her sexuality, and often didn't get to experience a really heart-based bond with the man. So as a priestess, and I'm saying this because you may recognize your soul in this. So the priestess's role in some timelines was to be a portal or a channel to the goddess through sexuality. So she could be a bridge for that, but often what was sacrificed was her tenderness, was her vulnerability, and was the feeling of being deeply loved and cherished by her partner. So for me, my process has been a lot around that. Obviously, in relationship with Raphael, it's been about really opening out that Yoni energy as a portal, as this beautiful portal for both of us, but also holding and honoring my femininity and my tender heart and my sensitivity. So one of the pieces for me was when Raphael and I started being together over 10 years ago, I did journaling with my Yoni, and I actually read it to him before we were together physically, intimately. And it was so beautiful because it allowed me to digest the previous relationships I had been in, the sexual experiences I had had with him. It was kind of a negotiation to go into the new together, the new ground together. And it really allowed him to feel what I had been through, what I had experienced, and what he was literally penetrating into. And so it was a much deeper ground. So that's kind of what I want to invite you to feel into today, is to start to feel your yoni as a part of you that has a consciousness. She probably has a name. Mine is named Orchid, and has been for a long time between Raphael and I. And she's a living energy between us. So it's, how is Orchid? Well, how's Orchid doing? And it's not a dissociative thing. It's not dissociating from your yoni. It's actually bringing her into the relationship in a very sacred way, acknowledging the portal that she is. And when you do that, when the yoni feels that, then she's able to open out into the multi-dimensional portal and the multi-orgasmic capacity that she has. So that is in the exchange with a man, but that can start between you to you and you to her, and actually needs to, I find. So the work that you can do with your yoni, we will do a guided meditation today to start to connect to her energy so you can feel how she feels. You may feel her very connected to a particular mate or relationship, especially if you have a very long-term relationship that you've been in, or also if you've been without sex for a long period of time and it feels to you as if your sexuality is shut down. Then starting to connect with your yoni energy should help to start opening that out. There can often be a lot of grief in the yoni, and a literal holding of every partner you've ever been with. So even if it was years ago, there can still be the residues there. So one of the things I recommend to go along with this guided meditation is to actually write a letter to your yoni and have her write a letter back to you, to in between writing the letter or while you're writing it, to have your right hand over your yoni area to really connect to her energy. You might find that you can't even get through the letter because you're crying so much. It's a huge release usually. And if you don't, that's okay too. And then write out, ask her about every partner you've ever had, even the ones that didn't lead to intercourse, but when anyone that there was some kind of sexual exchange with, and also if you experience sexual abuse this life. This is really critical work, actually. So you might even, I would definitely ask about that experience and how your yoni, because if you've had that experience, that's stored there too, of course. So in this letter writing, you're really again starting to connect to your feminine sexuality in a deeper way, in a feeling sense way, and in a self-compassionate way, so that when you go to be with a partner, these are the energies that also he gets to receive. Because otherwise, he's also experiencing all your partners as well, and all of the energies that you have going on, which can, men can struggle, as Raphael shared in the Sacred Sexuality video we did together. Men can struggle to bring their second chakra with their fourth chakra, to have their heart and their sexuality open at the same time. So if you have a yoni that has a lot of charge in it, a lot of pain, a lot of things from the past, that's going to be difficult for him, even more difficult for him to open his heart to that. Because usually there will be undigested distrust, suspicion, just defensiveness that makes it challenging for those energies to flow. So what I want you to do today as we go into this meditation is just start tuning into this area. And if you're a man, you can start tuning into your lingam. This is different than just tuning into it at the genitalia part of it, but all of it, to see and feel the power of your lingam, because I actually think there's a lot of masculine power there that often has shame and guilt connected to it, from other lifetimes, from perpetrating abuse, from our culture. So there's a lot of things for men that can shut down the lingam's actual ability to lead and penetrate. So you could also feel that if you're a man as we go into this. So go ahead and close your eyes. Start to bring your focus inward and downward. You may already be feeling some energy moving down there in your sacral second chakra area. If you want, you can put your hands down there, near there, on your womb area, on your yoni, whatever feels right. Whatever helps you connect. I'm seeing Mother Mary and Magdalene. Mary Magdalene, the two Marys here with us today. Mother Mary bringing a sense of purity about our sexuality, that there is an innocence to us that can emerge as we heal these other experiences that make us feel sinful or dirty or whatever parts of us would judge us as. Mary helps us come back to the purity. I'm also feeling Magdalene. She brings in sisterhood, sacred sexuality, sensuality. So if that's been shut down for you for a while, Magdalene can really ignite that for you. What they're showing me, the two Marys are showing me a beautiful pool of water surrounded by gentle streams, lush plants. It's very lush. And they're inviting you to start submerging in the water. And you're naked. That's important. It feels like your protector is nearby, just making sure everything's okay. You could say hello to them. They tend to be quite protective of this area, of course, and this part, because she's very precious. So for men, the same invitation to have this feminine energy, divine feminine energy around you, and to submerge into the water. As you're submerging into the water, tune into how it feels as the water moves up and over your yoni area and up your belly and upward to your chest and to your throat. So it's this warm, the water is soothing, loving, comforting, and cleansing. So as you sit in this water, just feel. Feel whatever wants to come about your sexual experiences. As you tune into your yoni or lingam, what pictures come or memories. but you're really wanting to feel rather than just mentally remember or have the story happen, but just tapping into that energy of what it felt like. You might run through each partner in your mind and in your yoni. You might even feel the energies still inside your yoni. You can move white light through your yoni space, your lingam space, just moving comforting light that feels like the light is kind of contained in the water, so you could swirl the water around as you're feeling these and remembering these different situations. I want to offer, particularly if you have kind of a shutdown around your sexuality, especially if you're long-term married and not intimate with each other, to feel when that happened. When did that start, that shutdown? And maybe your yoni can help you remember why and feel why it happened. You're just bringing also energy in to this area. Which may not have had much. And I see Mary floating pink rose petals on the water. That feels very sweet. It's a reminder of the delicacy and the tenderness. And then I see Magdalene floating some red rose petals on the water. And that red is a reminder of passion and sensuality. And the rose petals are kind of mingling together. And I think that offering is that the two can coexist, can move together, tenderness and passion, innocence and sensuality. That's what we're being invited into as sacred women and sacred men. So take as long as you need to in this bath. This is a cleansing bath, but it's also a connecting time. And you might even extend this into a real bath and check in with your yoni or lingam during bath time and see what comes up as you do that. Your yoni or lingam may want a name too that they want to be called. So the two Marys help you out of the bath. Big fluffy towel offered to you. And they encourage you, invite you to connect with them whenever you need the solace, the holding, the forgiveness, and a reminder of your innocence. So go ahead and open your eyes. Of course, you can pause this video and extend that meditation out as long as you need to, and come back to it as well to deepen that relationship. And I do really recommend a letter. A letter exchange can be quite powerful. So, thank you for joining me on this day and this topic, which can be quite a charged one in our culture, but I feel we're bringing healing to it just by feeling into it. So thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.